You will also need some tailor's chalk and a ruler. So there we have our two squares. I've got stitches right across, corner to corner. All these corners are stitched. I've just cut off all those loose threads. I'm going to cut just above that stitch line. Obviously we don't want to cut into that. Flip it right side out. You can even mix your fabrics. You can have one fabric on the outside, another fabric on the inside. The shape is there, the structure is there. It just looks so lovely. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I've decided to make some bowl cozies. Don't know if you're familiar with them. I'll show you them in a second. But yeah, I'm going to make some bowl cozies and I am just going to record the process and share that with you in case you want to give it a try. So a bowl cozy, if you don't know, are these things. They're basically just a little holder for bowls. So they're really good if you've got hot soup or hot dishes or even cold dishes like ice cream, things like that. You can pop your bowl inside and carry it to your table or wherever it is you want to sit with, and it's just much easier to eat, so that you're not burning your hands or getting cold hands. So this is your bowl cozy. It looks like this. Say you've got your hot soup, you just pop it inside, and as I say, easier to carry around, move about from place to place when you need to. So yes, that's what we'll be making today. I've got a few examples here. This one's just made with some little fabric that's got little apples on it, which is quite cute. I've got this little one. If you're an animal lover, this has got little foxes on it. And this one's got little cows on. I actually love this one. Super cute. So yeah, they're just three little examples, but this is what we'll be making. So if you're interested in learning how to, stick around and yeah, let's get started. Guys, just a little disclaimer. Please be aware that today I have used poly cotton and polyester. So these are not suitable to go in a microwave or an oven. They would not be able to withstand the heat. You do need to make sure you've got the correct materials if you wanted to do that. So these are for external use only. Okay guys, for today's project we will need two pieces of fabric like we have here. I'm using a poly cotton fabric and it is 10 inches by 10 inches square. You will also need two pieces of interfacing. I'm using quite a heavyweight interfacing here to give my bowl cozy some good strong structure. But these pieces are cut to the exact same size as our fabric pieces. It's just 10 inches by 10 inch square. So guys, along with your two pieces of fabric, two pieces of interfacing, you will also need some tailor's chalk or a pen, pencil, and a ruler. Okay guys, so before we get started, we need to fuse these two pieces together. So we've got our interfacing and our fabric. The interfacing, we've got the rough side up because this rough side is where the glue is. And our fabric we have face down, so the wrong side of that fabric against the glue side of the interfacing. So we will just pop them together, give that a press and make sure it's nice and secure. So I'm back from the ironing. We have now stuck these two pieces together. So I've got two nice strong pieces of fabric to work with now to make our bowl cozy. So let's get on. Okay guys, you need to grab your ruler and your tailor's chalk because the first thing we need to do is draw a line from this corner to this corner and from this corner to this corner. So let's draw the first line, tailor's chalk all the way down, and the opposite side, corner to corner. And do exactly the same with your other piece. So guys, we have our fabric, we have drawn our diagonal lines from corner to corner. And what we need to do now is take these to the machine and we will be stitching along those diagonal lines. So we're just going to do a simple stitch from one end all the way down to this end, and then from that end all the way down to this end. I've decided to use a nice purple thread today because there is lots of lilacs and purples in here. You could use a white, but I think the purple would be quite nice, just make it pop a little bit. Yes, corner to corner on both pieces. Let's take this to the machine. there we have our 2 squares. I've got stitches right across, corner to corner, 1 and 2. So all we need to do now is just cut off these loose bit of threads, get them out the way. Okay guys, so we have our square here. What we need to do now is fold this in half, like so. And we need to mark out 2 inches along this folded side, 2 inches from the top and 2 inches from this end, and then 1 inch across and 1 inch across. And we'll just pop some little markers. I did do it before in yellow, but it didn't show up very well. So I am doing it again in blue, just so you can see it better. So we want 2 inches, which is about there. And then we want 1 inch across the top, which is about there. Then what we want to do is just draw a line matching these 2 points up. So from point to point, just a nice diagonal line. So it should look like so. And we do exactly the same on this end. So 2 inches along the folded part. Ooh, broke my chalk. 1 inch along the bottom. And then we're going to join up the dots with a nice straight diagonal line. So you should end up like this, guys. So you've got the folded piece 2 inches by 1 inch, the folded piece 2 inches by 1 inch. What we'll do now is take this to the machine and we are just simply going to stitch across these markings. So guys, we have stitched all of them corners on both of our pieces, as you can see. Nice diagonal lines across all of them. So obviously, once again, let's get rid of these threads and I'll show you what we do next. Okay guys, so there's our 2 pieces we have sewn across these ends here. The next thing we need to do now is the exact same thing, but the other way. So if you open that up and then just fold it the opposite way and get those ends to meet, like so. And then we're going to do the same again on that folded side. We're just going to measure down 2 inches by 1 inch, 2 inches by 1 inch, and draw them diagonal lines ready to take to the machine again. So let's do that. Okay guys, so we've got our little markers there and we are ready to sew them in place. So let's take these to the machine and get sewing. Okay guys, so they are all stitched now. All these corners are stitched. I've just cut off all those loose threads. So what we're left with now are these little corner pieces that we need to actually trim. So all we're going to do is take our giant scissors and we're just going to cut just above that stitch line. Obviously we don't want to cut into that because that would ruin everything. But we just want to get rid of these little corner pieces. So let's snip them off, throw them on the floor. Open the other side, there we go. Do exactly the same, all 4 corners. And we do that on both pieces. So let's get the other piece and do the same with that one. Okay, so all the corners are cut, all 4 corners. So if you open it up now, what you're left with is that kind of bowl cozy shape, as you can see there. You've got the general shape of the bowl cozy, which is great. Let's grab the other piece. So yeah, same for that. Okay, so the next thing is to take one of your pieces and flip it right side out. So that should look like this. So you've got one piece like this, and you've got one piece like this. Okay guys, so we've got our 2 pieces, and what we need to do now is pop this piece inside this piece. So you want the 2 pieces of fabric facing each other. So this piece goes inside. So you've got fabric to fabric facing each other. And you just want to pop that inside and line it all up so all the edges meet. And then just pin it together so it's nice and secure. So I'm going to do that now. I'll put you on a little time lapse so that it's not too boring for you, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we are all pinned now. We've got our right sides facing together. The pins are all in, it's all lined up, it's nice and secure. What I've also done is just put a little marker, where is it? It's just here. We need to leave a little gap where we can flip this right side out once we've sewn it. So I've just took my tailor's chalk and I've left almost 2-inch gap there. I've just put 2 little markers on to remind myself not to sew over this, to remind myself to leave a gap. So what we're going to do now is take this to the machine. We're going to start sewing, and we're just going to go all the way around, following the pattern of the entire thing. We're going to leave about 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay guys, so we are going to start stitching. I've started at the blue line there. I'm going to back stitch just to make sure it's nice and secure to start with. And then when you get to those seams, I'm just going to make sure they're nice and flat under the foot there. When you get to the seam, if you just stop, lift up your foot and rotate it, realign it, put the foot back down and then carry on. So I'm going to speed this up guys, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I'm also almost back at my blue marker, so I'm just going to do these last few stitches and then back stitch just at the end there. Okay, lift up that foot, lift up that needle and just pull that out. Okay, so we've finished stitching all the way around. I'm just going to remove all of these pins and cut off those loose threads. Okay guys, so we have sewn all the way around that edge there. We have left our little 2-inch gap to flip it right side out. All we're going to do now is simply just snip off any excess fabric that we've got around the edge here. Snip off them little corners because we don't need them, and we just want to try and reduce the bulk for when we do flip it right side out. Okay, so we have snipped all them corners. We've gotten rid of any excess fabric. Just be careful when you are snipping them corners not to snip into your stitches, because that wouldn't be good. But now we are all good. We are all ready to start flipping this right side out. So that little gap that we left before, it can be quite tricky because it is only a small gap and it's quite a big chunky piece of work. So we need to feed this through as gently as we can and flip it the right side out. Good idea to have something pointy to hand. I always use my trusty chopstick just to point out them edges, but I will show you that in a little bit when we get to it. So for now, I'm going to put you back on a hyperlapse and take my time in flipping this right side out. Okay guys, as you can see, I have now flipped that right side out. It can be a little bit tricky, but just be gentle. We don't want to tear any stitches. And obviously I got my chopstick, I just popped it through the little gap that we had, and I just used it to poke out those corners. But again, don't poke too hard because you don't want the chopstick coming through the end of the fabric and just ruining all the work that you've done. But equally, you do want them corners to be popped out as best they can. And then once you've done that, I just tuck it all in back to creating the shape that it should be. And I just go around the seams and I just give them a little roll. Just roll them seams it just kind of straightens everything up and tidies it all up, aligns it a little bit nicer, ready to do the final top stitch. Because guys, believe it or not, we are almost done. There is just literally one more step to go. And yeah, that will be your bowl cozy finished. So at this stage, we are like this. We have still got that little gap there where we've just flipped it right side out. So we do need to close that gap up when we do our top stitch. But basically, yeah, this is our bowl cozy almost done. So we're going to take this back to the machine. We're going to do our top stitch. But before we do that, we just need to close up this seam. So if you just kind of tuck it in, you can see it kind of naturally just falls in anyway. So just tuck it in, make sure it's nice and neat, and just pop a little pin or a little clip just to keep it together. And then this is ready to take back to the machine for our top stitch. So all we're going to do, again about 1/4 of an inch, we are going to start sewing right the way along the edge, just as we've done before. Only this is our top stitch now to finish off, make it look nice and to close that seam. So let's take this to the machine and get this finished. So guys, this is in the machine now, ready to start our top stitch. When I first start stitching, I'm obviously going to do a back stitch, make sure that's nice and secure. And then when you get to these corners and where the seams are, again, you'll probably have to lift your foot up, rotate the fabric, put the foot back down and then carry on. There are some parts of it that might feel a bit thick and might need a little bit of help, a little bit of a tug. But just take it nice and slowly and work at your own pace and you will be absolutely fine. So I am going to put this in a hyperlapse again because it does take a little while. So I think we're ready to get this top stitch done and get this finished off. So guys, that is all top stitched. We've closed that little seam that we had open. So that's all nice and secure now. All we've got left are these threads, which we can just snip off, get them out of the way. And that is your bowl cozy done, complete. It's really, actually a lot easier than it looks. I think people see these and think, oh my words, because of the shape, because of the size of them, I think they look way more complicated than they are, but they're really not. And they make the most cutest little gifts for people. And not only that, they're so practical. Like, I have these at home and I have to say, honestly, use them all the time. So there we have it. There is our Bowl Cosy. I mean, this is a gorgeous little print anyway. It's very nice. But again, do them in any fabric you like. You can even mix your fabrics. So you can have one fabric on the outside, another fabric on the inside, so different colours. But that's it, guys. So easy. Can you see if I get that a little bit closer? Like, the shape is there, the structure is there. It just looks so lovely and just so practical. Let me grab a little bowl, pop that in so we can see how it looks. So here is our beautiful Bowl Cosy, all finished, looking gorgeous. One bowl inside, fits absolutely perfect. Now it's really nice and easy to carry, move around. Yeah, absolutely lovely. Really lovely gift ideas. Really nice for your market stores, your craft stalls, if you do them. Just really nice even to make for yourself as a little treat, because as I say, they're so practical. You will use it all the time. Can you imagine your hot food in there, your cold food? What's it like when you have a bowl of ice cream? Your hands are freezing. It's so uncomfortable. So yeah, these are great. Do you like them? That's the main thing. I mean, look at it. What's not to love? I think it's so lovely. So guys, if you enjoyed this today, then please do hit the like button. Leave me your comments. I always like to hear how you got on or what your thoughts were. And please do subscribe. It would be great to have you as part of the family. I have already posted some other tutorials on there, so feel free to go check them out, and there will be lots more coming in the future. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out on any of them, you can also click that notification bell, so every time I do post, it will give you a little alert, and then you've got the option then to come and have a look. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you have subscribed. And yeah, please stick around and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your Bowl Cosies, guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye.